into this flight, but anybody just wanted to hop on and talk flying. I'll be giving my perspective on some things as we try to fly from Bradley Airport in Connecticut to Monterey in California there. This is just for fun. The Skip Barber race is at Laguna Seca this week, so that'll be fun just to fly out there. Nice long flight. We're in an MD-82. This is the vanilla X-Plane 11. So I haven't done this much. I used to do Microsoft Flight Simulator and having some issues getting it loaded though, so kind of gave up on that. And I had bought this, but not really played with it, so give it a shot. The MD-82 is pretty similar to a plane that I used to fly, although not exactly, so I'm sure I'll run into some issues here and there. But anyway, I guess nobody's watching anyway, so I'll just get rolling. I was able to find some checklists and told online, so I'd just be using that. I don't know how accurate any of it is, but better than nothing. Although sometimes we'll just use common sense. So some battery power on. I'm not gonna do external power. I think we'll just go straight to the APU. What I can tell, you can start it off the battery just fine. Start pumps on. And I think that's all you need. I do have it mapped. So we'll do that. And looks like we've got APU power available, so we'll...
Bradley INTL information echo. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable, visibility more than 10. Sky...
Switch off that for just a second. That's annoying. And that all makes sense for right now. So we've got the APU powering the AC buses, and I'm a little confused. Oh, maybe not. They must be inverters there for DC power, but they do have an AC tie bus, which apparently is not simulated, and cross tie and DC cross tie is also not simulated, so we won't bother with those. Doesn't matter. You can see here that's where you'd select your if you were using the external power. Obviously, they have a ground service bus. This being an airliner, so this is you'd basically keep the jet warm, be able to operate things like doors and whatnot, lights, without messing with all the stuff up here in the cockpit. That's how they do that. So that's fun. So now we got ground operations going. Not gonna bother with any of that stuff. Doesn't matter. Meter heat. It's over here. Gotta go to captain. That's gonna activate your pitot heat. We had a ground switch. KC-10. Boy, I'm gonna need some afterburners for that there, Christian. Oh, that's funny. I'm not gonna bother. I don't think the fire loops, I don't even think you can test those. You know, those aren't simulated. Man, learning so much here. I did go ahead and file the flight plan already. I'll bring up, if I can. Maybe not. We'll see you later, man. I didn't even earn my first paycheck. Have a good one. All right, where were we? Got the flight plan in. Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to look for. Download this program here. This will be our route of flight. We did a little bit of a detour to try to go hit some tracks, or roughly around them. Watkins Glen, Belle Isle, Road America, and I think that's Iowa down there, Oval. Then there's a whole lot of nothing until you get over here. That's Sonoma, right on the north end of the bay there. There's San Francisco, and we'll fly probably right through their airspace since we're simulating this anyway, down to Monterey, and right in that, the Laguna Seca is literally right off the departure end of this, whatever runway that is right there, kind of where we're going to be doing our procedure turn for the GPS approach. There's actually a visual approach that uses the Laguna Seca Raceway as the reference point, which I thought was pretty cool. Back here. Does not look like this is geo-referenced, which is disappointing, but we're here in the international arrivals just because it was closer to runway 6. Yeah, nope. You know, we might be able to do a little detour. We'll quote unquote request a deviation. We're gonna be flying right over Denver anyway, so that actually wouldn't be out of the question. One thing that is cool, they did the FMS pretty well. You can go in here and actually, they do, yeah, DIA will fly, or DEN, whatever, we'll fly over Denver and see the Illuminati real quick. But you can actually go in the route list, and there's a file or a folder you can save route list just like you would be loading the data card on this old ass aircraft. And so we loaded that up. I think we did. Yep. So we loaded that up. And this is pretty also fairly true to life. It's a little different than the one I use, so it doesn't have some of the functionality, but they did a pretty good job modeling it. So we'll struggle through that as well. Let's see. Gotta keep going back here. There we go. Flight director switches. Okay, so that's the other thing here. You can notice I'm kind of centered up just to do the engine start and the beginning of it. But we're gonna turn flight directors on. I've already set the speed bugs based on this data that I found, which I don't know how accurate it is, but we're going to be doing a flaps 11 takeoff based on 55,000 kilograms or 55 tons or so. It's about 112,000 pounds if I did my conversion right. But anyway, I've got V1 rotate, V2 flapper track, slapper track speeds. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't even know. I guess 15 flaps would still have the slats in the takeoff position there. We're gonna do. Guess I gotta set the heading here. I don't know how powerful these engines are. Need a longer runway. Go to Edwards. Maybe we could go to Edwards and do that. I'm sure it's like 058 or something like that. We're on runway 6. Let's seems fine. Typically we'd set the bank angle to 15 degrees initially until we deconfigured. I guess we'll just do that. We're gonna be up to 4,000 per the SID, which is, show you guys, oops. I gotta come up with a better setup for all this. Bradley departure here. Be on runway 6. Oh, actually 075. Look at that. Good thing we checked. We don't want to run into those computer planes. For runway 6, climbing heading 075. Go to 4,000, and we'll expect the AI to clear us on course anyway. It's not very robust. Well, let's just get going then. Check ATIS again real quick.
Bradley INTL information Yankee. 1300 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable, visibility more than 10. Sky conditions 500 few, 15,000 few, temperature 23, dew point 19. Altimeter 3008. Arriving runways 24, 33. Departing runways 24, 33. Advise on initial contact you have Yankee.
I think it might actually. Random failures. Sure it does. Yeah, set mean time. All sorts of different things. Engines. Pop a reverser in air. There you go. Fun. 250 systems that can fail. 39 hours per failure. Okay, whatever. And it does have a flight instructor portion here, so if you had somebody else, they could actually fail your stuff and change the weather on you and what have you. I guess it's pretty cool. Put the strobe on. We'll call the departure briefing complete. Yeah, all that's done. Fuel lever's off. Yeah, fine. We'll auto-tune. Yeah, or the 787, the Dreamliner there. Some smoke and fumes from the battery. Okay. These are the pneumatic crossfeed. I found those late. So what we need to start the engines really is spark. We'll just ignore the checklist here. So that's our ignition system right there. It's not simulated. That's weird. Fuel, which we'll get to, and then air, which we've got running off the APU right now, providing air to rotate the engines. So I don't know how the start sequence works in the MD-80, so I'm just going off of what I know. But I have those mapped down here. Once we get it rolling, we've got air and spark going. That's our N2, that's the core of the engine. Once that gets up to 15, we'll throw the fuel levers on. If you do it too early, at least in the ones that I flew, you'd flood the engines basically. They wouldn't be able to light off. You'd have to motor them for a bit or you were done. Maintenance required. Do more modern planes have all of these controls? Yeah, no, this is a very old plane from that perspective. A lot of this is automated now to some extent. It does look like I've maybe missed the boat on one of these. That's on. Oh, I know. Fuel pumps. There we go. That's your EGT. We've got light off. And the end, yeah. with that. What is going on here? Issues with the throttle quadrant. So the N1s are up here. That's your fan. That's what you see when you actually look into the engine of these planes. That fan that's rotating, that's going to provide, I think at least on the engine, I don't know if this is universal on the engines that I flew with the GEs, it provided 73% at a standard AAC level. It provides 73% of the thrust. With the core of the engine, they're represented N2, that'd be 27%. And as you go up in altitude, they take on a greater share of that load. So you'll see your N1s and N2s, once they equal out, that's kind of your optimum altitude. Why do we have... Oh, okay, so we've got the engines running now. So that way we can have the engine generators drive the main buses there, which means we can take these off in theory, and we should be good to go. And start off the APU. A little quieter in here anyway. So now we're on engine power all the way around. Good to go. Open, we need pushback. Oh, I guess we need our clearance.
Alaska 1-4, cleared IFR2, Monterey River as filed, maintain, flight level 360, squawk 4700.
Yeah, I'm just making this up as I go. Could all be bullshit, for as far as you know. Alright.
Alaska 1-4,
Yeah.
cleared IFR2, Monterey River as filed, maintain, flight level 360, squawk 4700.
Cleared IFR2, Monterey River as filed,
I don't like
maintain, flight level 360,
how they simulated these
4700, Alaska 1-4.
ATC. So anyway, yeah, transponder code we just did. Ignition selector to start. I don't know why I would do that. They do have windshield wipers, as a matter of fact. Yeah, they, there you go. When you're in the rain, coming down on final, or you're trying to taxi out, that's when they usually come in. They typically have a speed limit when you're in the air, so you can't just be like cruising and activate them, or they'll rip right off, but... Alright, fuel lever on, blah blah blah. Ignition's off. Did I do there? Here we go. Auto. That way we can run the air conditioning, so that's tapping actual air off the engine bleed air and running it through
S76, 6, X-ray,
air conditioning
Papa,
units
runway 24,
to
taxi
cool down the airplane and also pressurize it.
Runway 24, taxi by
Auto
Echo,
brake.
Charlie, hold short of runway 24,
Take off.
S76, 6, X-ray, pop.
We're gonna arm the speed brake, so this is if we end up having to abort. Once you pop the thrust reversers, that'll come down and spoil the lift on the wings to help you stop. Not gonna check the flight controls, nose lights on, all that. Cool. I will just do the before takeoff checklist because we're not gonna have much of a taxi here, but warning lights are checked, yeah, blah blah blah. All this shit's on, sure. Get our lights on. Doesn't matter. APU's off, on, ignition selector, select. I guess we want ignition on, which we still have. Exterior lights, and then we'll set our flaps to 11. There you go. So that's the only thing I don't know how this is going to work. With auto throttles, we had a mode, this is your thrust rating computer, this box right here, and because you can't just go full bore the whole time. this would actually let you select the takeoff mode, and then you can slave your auto throttle to hit a specific N1 so you're not overboosting your engines. But this doesn't appear to be functional. And there's a time limit on takeoff power as well. It's usually 5 minutes, and altitude as well, because you're calculating that what your max engine thrust is, your N1, for a given temperature and pressure altitude. So you invalidate that the higher you go, and then you got to go to climb power, which basically pulls it back a little bit. But since I don't have the charts or anything like that, we're just gonna wing it. So I don't know then also how auto throttles are gonna work on takeoff, so we're not gonna do that. Cool.
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor, runway 2,
Let's get
4,
in the
taxi via Sierra, Echo, Charlie, hold short of
seat
runway
here.
3,
Runway 24, taxi via Sierra, Echo, Charlie, hold short of runway 33, SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor.
3-3.
Alaska 1, 4, runway
Oh, no.
2, 4, taxi via Charlie, hold short of runway 3.
3-3. I don't know if I can take off on that.
Runway 24, taxi via Charlie, hold short of runway 33, Alaska 14.
Oh no, 2-4. So we're still on the wrong heading though. Alright, 238 per the SID. Let's bring our airport back up here. Yeah, we need those, the rocket assisted, takeoff there. We say via Charlie, I already forgot, yep. Alright, so we'll push back to the right.
76, 6,
I
X-ray,
guess.
Papa, contact tower on 120.30.
Where's
Contact
my
tower on 120.30.
ground handling window?
S76, 6, X-ray, pop.
Push card coming.
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor, contact tower on 120.30.
Contact tower on 120.30. SJX Vision 1,
Here we go.
Charlie, Victor.
Here we go. What are we doing here? I think we pretty much completed everything. Oh, good. Looks like I'm gonna have a line too. Okay. We're good now. Thank you. Oh, oh boy. Can he? Well, I don't know if we're gonna stop. Can I?
Hey, I need your brakes off.
Oh my gosh. I just got yelled at.
You paid the fuel bill, right?
No. Thought it was free. That's pretty funny. So they actually have a tiller, and I mapped it to the steering wheel. So I'm actually driving the plane with a steering wheel right now. If anybody has any suggestions on simulating steering tillers, I'm all ears. Alright. Told us to hold short of 3-3. Which I believe is coming up here. Yep. I don't see an option to request a cross, so interesting. Should I just go?
Alaska 1-4, contact tower on 120.30.
Oh, there we go, finally.
Contact tower on 120.30. Alaska 1-4-2-4. SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor. Tower Alaska 1-4.
Stepping all over people.
Alaska 1-4, cross runway 3-3, hold short of runway 2-4.
Cross runway 3-3. Hold short of runway 2-4. Alaska 1-4.
Cross 3-3. Lights are on. Yeah, sending it's always a good strategy. We are going to taxi like a champ.
SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor, contact approach on 120.60.
Contact approach on 120.60. SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor.
They do got the sounds pretty well mapped though. It does shake like that. That is the short runway. It's like the approach end of 19. So to the left, next turn will be the end of the runway. And it's taken me half the time just to get off the ground. We're definitely gonna have to do ground speed times 6. Alright. So we can swap over here. Heading 238. I did file MOBs, or mobs, or whatever. Typically where you'd be doing the rest of the checklist, but we got all that done. Oh, I guess I should. So normally what we'd set in here is the pressure rate for acceleration. That's, we were talking earlier about having to reduce the throttle at some point. Typically it is, you can calculate it, but it's 1500 feet AGL, I think is the highest that we used, so maybe I can just do that. We'll just call it 1700, so. Oops, oh no. Come on. Not gonna work? Oh. make me go all the way around. So you bug that. That's your reminder. And we're holding short here.
Alaska 1-4, fly heading 240, runway 24. You're cleared for takeoff.
Guess we're just getting vectors then.
Fly heading 240, runway 24, Alaska 14.
You check final, make sure there's no aircraft, check the runway, it's clear. Not that they'd ever clear you, if it wasn't, but. We're gonna come out here, all the runway that you can get. Center it up. Winds are calm. 2 good engines. And we'll just firewall it since I don't have takeoff power. $80 knots. That's where you cross-check that both your airspeeds are reading the same. There's V1, that's your go, no-go decision. Rotate, V2. Got a positive rate of climb, gear up. Typically you carry V2 plus 10.
Alaska 1-4,
on the
contact
airspeed.
approach on 120.60.
Contact approach on 120.60, Alaska 14.
There's pressure right for acceleration. This is where you'd select climb power. And you'd vert over. We'll get the autopilot on here in a second.
Approach, Alaska 14.
You're gonna want
Alaska 1-4, Bradley, altimeter
about
3007.
Keep our heading. Whoa, why are you doing that, buddy? Come on. Vertical speed. There we go. Get cleaned up. That alarm was the inner marker for the approach on the other end. I must have had that dialed in, I didn't realize it. Alright. 250 knots is the air in the US at least. That is the limit on the airspeed.
Approach, Alaska 14.
Below 10,000 feet, so we'll keep it there.
Alaska 1-4,
Oh, again.
Bradley, altimeter 3007.
Everything cleaned up, so that was a little ugly on the automation, but it wasn't.
Alaska 1-4, fly heading 330.
Alright, 3007. Oops. And heading 330. Where are we at here? This is what Robert was talking about, having to use mouse clicks.
Alaska 1-4, fly heading
Yeah.
330.
Normally you'd have a co-pilot to respond to that.
Fly heading 330, Alaska 14.
Yeah, I just got back into all this, just because of the videos and everything got me excited about it again, and I've been out of the cockpit for quite a while now. So, it's just been fun,
Alaska
kind of
1-4,
knocking off the rust.
Flight level 360.
It's us.
Climb and maintain, flight level 360, Alaska
So-
14.
There's different things you can do on the automation here, and I haven't quite figured out. It's similar to the one I used to use, but not exactly. But one of them is level change, and so that's what we'll use here. And apparently you activate it by pulling that. and it's just going to go. Normally you'd be in climb power, but it's just going to do whatever it wants.
Alaska 1.
And it's going to maintain your
Flight
airspeed
level 360.
and climb to whatever altitude that you're going toward. And the same works on the descent as well. We would typically throw the auto throttles off and just be able to maintain the airspeed for your descent profile down to whatever altitude it was that you were looking to attain.
Alaska 1-4, contact center on.
Yeah.
134.70.
The stuff for the simulators, that's all contracted out. It's not based on Microsoft or X-Plane, as far as I know.
Flight level 360.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 360 to Juliet Romeo. Center Alaska 1-4.
Actually, we don't need the
Alaska
diagram here
1-4,
anymore,
Bradley
so let's bring
altimeter
up
3007.
Bradley altimeter 3007. Alaska 1-4.
So we're through 10,000 feet. That means we can speed up. I think the climb profile. Why is this not working? Huh. Oh, there we are. It is working. So you can see he's got us headed toward Mobes there. What were we saying? Oh yeah, the climb profile. I had that pulled up here on one of these stupid, no, it was this one. Cruise Mach. Okay, so the descent profile is 280 knots indicated, or cruise Mach. Normal cruise, we're gonna go 0.8, obviously. But I do not see climb, so I guess we'll roll at 280. After takeoff, blah blah blah, we've got all that. Ignition selector off. I think they just have that on in case engine flame out. It'll help you get the engine restarted sooner, so you're not having to reach up there and do that on the fly. Auto brake is off. Looks like it did that on its own. I don't know where the hydraulic pumps are, so we won't worry about that. Oh, 310, there you go. It's right on the checklist. Climb at 310. Seems... So the aircraft will pitch to get down to 310 and then climb out at that airspeed. We are approaching 18,000, that is transition altitude in the United States. So once you get above that, you're not going to be using local altimeter settings anymore because it gets messy real quick. So through 18,000, you set 2992. That is standard pressure. And that way, we know everybody's
Alaska
flying at the same relative
fly heading 280.
altitude. 280 on the heading now. Whoops.
Fly heading 280. Alaska 1-4.
Alaska 1-4, resume on navigation.
Own navigation. So that's... We're at Mobes. He's basically got us over Mobes now, so we're just gonna go ULW, I guess.
Resume on navigation. Alaska 1-4.
Yeah, see, this is... I don't know how they... I don't want to go to Mobes.
S76, 6, X-ray, Papa, contact approach on. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we're past Mobes.
Contact approach on 123.95 S76 6 X-ray pop.
There we go. And then once we have that in,
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor, fly heading 210.
we can come up here to FMS.
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor.
2, Juliet, Romeo, climb and maintain, flight level 350.
Now it'll slave to that.
Flight level 350, Juliet, Romeo.
I don't know why it took such a huge bite there, but
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor, fly heading 220.
Fly heading 220, SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor.
SJX Vision 1, Charlie, Victor, Pittsfield Municipal, altimeter 3011.
Pittsfield
Okay,
Municipal, altimeter
310.
3011.
Everybody's favorite
SJX
part,
Vision 1,
the
Charlie,
seat
Victor.
belts.
S76, 6, X-ray, Papa, Columbia Sierra, altimeter 3011.
It says to go to 15 on the limiter, but I'm not going to do that.
Altimeter 3011, S76.
So it looks
6, X-ray pop.
like on this plane, there's no real weight and balance to do. You run out of the center first, which makes sense structurally. You want gas in the air fuel in the wing tanks. That's pretty common.
S76,
So
6,
once
X-ray,
that-
Papa, fly heading
once that's done,
100.
We'll just turn off the pumps
Flight heading
on the center tank,
S76, 6, X-ray pop.
so we're not running them dry.
S76, 6, X-ray, Papa, fly heading 100.
Flight heading 100, S76, 6, X-ray pop.
So this is your VSI. This is going to show you your vertical speed, but on this particular model, it's also your TCAS, so it'll show you traffic. Why I can't zoom in and out, I have no idea. But typically, you'd be able to change the range on that. It's not at these altitudes. 5 miles isn't super helpful, but it is what it is. Sometimes it just be like that. I think that's it for the crew. So once we get up here, I'll do the, I'll just get ahead of and do the descent approach brief, and then we'll slam it on ground speed times 6, which there really isn't anything to do other than get ready for the approach. Looks like. So that's cool. This is your annunciators for, we called them the, what did we call those? Oh boy. Really gonna have to knock the rust off, but this is showing you what your automation is set at. So we're on nav track. That indicates to me that we're gonna be tracking the FMS. Altitude capture, which seems pretty early to me. There's a zone, a capture zone for us in the planes that I flew, but whatever. It's going to be capturing that altitude that we have set in. Speed, pretty obvious. And then this is kind of what's on deck. This is what's armed. So I guess this is also telling me that typically these would, and the plane that I flew, these two things would be mutually exclusive. It would be armed, and then it would go to altitude capture.
2, Juliet,
fact that
Romeo,
it's
climb and maintain, flight level 3.
Both right now, I have no idea what's up with that, but
Climb and maintain. Flight level
just different
360,
systems that I'm not used to.
Romeo.
2, Juliet, Romeo, fly heading 150.
Fly heading 1502, Juliet, Romeo.
Juliet, Romeo, climb and maintain, flight level 360.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 3602, Juliet, Romeo.
2, Juliet, Romeo, fly heading 240.
Fly heading 2402, Juliet, Romeo.
Alright. Ordering some lunch here. We're gonna go out and get some Buffalo Wild Wings. We are climbing like a hog.
2 Juliet Romeo. Climb and maintain. Flight level 360.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 360. 2 Juliet Romeo.
We might be a little bit above our optimum altitude. Typically, you need to maintain 500 feet per minute in RVSM airspace. So right now, if we couldn't make it, real world, I'd be asking for a descent to 340. And actually, let's just do that. This is silly. It's probably gonna yell at me, but.
SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor. Fly heading 210. Descend and maintain 11,000.
Fly heading 210. Descend and maintain 11,000. SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor.
Alaska 14. Climb and maintain.
No.
Flight level 360.
There you go.
Flight level 360. Alaska 14.
See, this is the annoying part. The way they have ATC, I can't request a different altitude. All I can do is request an altimeter setting. Oh, you guys can't see that. That's it. Cancel or request altimeter. That's
2
not right.
Juliet Romeo. Fly heading 19.
So now I basically have to sit here and listen to him tell me to climb.
2 Juliet Romeo.
Alaska 14. Climb and maintain. Flight level 360.
Alright, this is what we're gonna do.
SJX Vision 1 Charlie Victor. Fly heading 190.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 360. Alaska 14. Fly heading 190. SJX
Technically,
Vision
we're not in
1
airspace that would allow you to fly VFR, so we can't cancel.
SJX Vision 1
But we
Charlie
just canceled.
Victor. Fly heading 190.
Fly heading 19.
We're just gonna tune him out. That way we don't have to listen to him anymore. Okay, so we went from altitude capture to altitude hold, nav track, that's what you like to see. Technically we should be down at 0.8 per the manual. But whatever. I'm gonna move it forward anyway, so you can bump that, which lets you change between Mach and airspeed. Usually Mach is a little sensitive, so we never really use it that much. It's just there's so much variation in it that your throttles would surge trying to find it and hold it, and that's very bad for your fuel efficiency. So we'll see how this behaves, but just generally speaking, that's the you wouldn't use that. Center it up here as we cruise. I'm gonna take a little break here and put my order in so we can eat some lunch. This is almost like being a real pilot. I think I'm gonna do. What should I do? Caribbean jerk? Oh yeah. Asian zing. Perfect. Nailed it. Yes, this is not an endorsement of any particular restaurant or purveyor of buffalo wings. Alright. So, during cruise, typically you'd have the sectional, or not the sectional, the en route charts out. And depending on how old your airplane is, I would be personally looking for keeping our alternates or emergency diverts updated, knowing what our options are there, checking. We had an actual paper fuel plan that we would be cross-checking our fuel burn with, that sort of thing. Yeah, you can see the throttles, so this is fairly realistic. You can see them surging back and forth there, trying to maintain that Mach. So that's kind of weak sauce. We'll just go 278 and call it good. Of course, I say that, now it's still surging to try to keep it. I don't know why that would be the case. Anyway, so you can see right here too, oh man, we're going through some turbulence, it looks like. Yeah, that's why. What is up with that? Holy cow, it is rocking us. Anyway, so you can see we were talking here about N1 and N2 and how much they're pushing. You can see right here N2 is now higher than the N1, so at least in the engines that I used to run, that would mean we're actually above our optimum altitude. That core of the engine is working harder than the turbofan there, the front part, which makes sense. We weren't climbing at all, so I think we've reached our maximum altitude for our weight. As we burn down fuel, we'll be able to climb a little bit higher, but and I can't believe I'll have to pull up. I think there's a way to pull up airmets or sigmets or anything like that, but that's crazy. Let's see. So anyway, yeah, we'd do that during cruise. And as you approached your destination, what we do is start getting ready for the arrival there, getting the weather updates. I actually don't know what weather they're calling for at Monterey right now, and I don't know that there's a way in sim to figure that out or not. Oh boy, kids are going crazy. No. Yeah, so what we're gonna do though, what I have loaded up though, is the RNAV GPS Yankee for runway 28 left, so we'll see if that ends up being the case. But we go through and set all of our bugs and whatnot. 6,300 is the min safe, or min sector altitude. That's within, I think, 25 miles of the airport for you there, so jeez. Our kids are wrestling. I don't know if anybody can hear that. And then typically there's going to be an emergency safe altitude too, which I do not see listed on here. These are Jepson plates, which are laid out differently than the ones that I used to use. They were DOD flip. We wouldn't use Jepson too often. So yeah, not seeing emergency safe, but anyway, we've got our communications frequencies up here that we'll plan on using. We'll see if that actually happens. We've got the final approach course 261. I think if we can, I'm going to come in via Salinas and do the procedure turn to get us aligned for the approach. Probably be a direct entry. And here's our 1080. So 4100 or 5100 for the procedure turn. Then once we hit Pixar, we'll be down to 4100. And after that, 3200 for Hugon. 1740 for Inisu. And after that, it's going to be down to, I guess, so this is the LNAV, that's just lateral. We'll just do that. It's a non-precision approach, so it's a little higher. We'll do 1120. 1120, so you'd set that here. And then I don't know how to set it in the MD-80. We had our separate radar altimeter, which in this plane it appears it is on the ADI. So I don't know how to set the decision heights in there for that on this particular plane. Shame. Figure it out. Is that it? No. Nope. Anyway, you set the bugs just as reminders for yourself. And that's about it. I mean, we'll call ourselves a Cat C, I think, for our approach speed. So we need 2.5 miles of visibility, which I imagine we'll have 863. Oh, that's 863 ahead above for the MDA, which that's what you'd put in your radar altimeter. Yeah, man, I don't know. Can't find it. Anyway, so this is your descent angle. What this is showing you here is what your VSI needs to be. So you can cross-check that on your instruments to know if you're on the appropriate glide angle to meet. 3 degrees is roughly your typical precision approach. So this is obviously going to be a little bit steeper. I think we're going to be coming in around 120. I'll check the total again, but 765 is what we'll be expecting to see in our VSI once we hit, I guess, in Nusu. And then this V right here is for your VDP. So if you're at, in this case, 1120 at 1.6 miles from the waypoint Utua, or however you want to pronounce that, that is your 3.6 degree angle down to the runway. So that's kind of your checkpoint to start your descent down to the runway. But if you're not visual, you're going to maintain that minimum of 1120 MSL until you hit that waypoint, and then you're going to go missed approach, which is a climbing right turn to 6,000 feet direct to the Salinas Vortac for a direct entry into holding on that course. And that should all be in the FMS as well. So that's about it. I've got it loaded up. Should be fine. I'm just going to let the airplane fly it. But yeah. It's pretty much all she wrote for right now. Well, we have to go grab lunch, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it right here. I'll stop the stream, and we'll just pick it back up when we get back. Maybe I'll fast forward to the descent, something like that. But cool. All right. Well, we will. Whew, that's loud in my ear. We'll pause that for now, and I'll stop the stream, and we'll be back in a bit.